thank you all so much for coming. It means a lot to me. I know that many of you can't vote yet, but many of you can, and many of you will be old enough when the voting happens. And if not, my other part of my whole thing is that when you turn 18, you should start running for office, because in this state you can run for office up to starting at age 18 up to being a governor. So this way we can throw out all of these evil people and replace them with the good people who are usually younger. Now, as far as I see things, the main problem that I've been fighting to end for 36 years, yes, when I was your age, yeah, it finally hit me that the drug laws were what were going to kill us. And I had tried weed around the same time I tried alcohol, and I realized that alcohol was 10 times stronger, but I could only go to jail for weed. And I was like, this is insane. These people are nuts. And I knew that they were ramping it up. They said, just say no. And then it turned out that Nancy Reagan was addicted to pet pills, which is speed, which is synthetic cocaine. But they were arresting millions of people, usually black people. And if it was crack instead of powder, they gave them decades instead of a few years. And it was always based in pure racism. We have now 2 million people in jail, over 2 million, 2.2 million people in jail. Here, free the 2 million. And they are slaves.
Free the
and
people! Woo!
We have over 10 million arrests a year in this country.
Make meth legal.
Oh, I'm not just going to make... But first of all, speed is legal, and they give it to children. They call it Ritalin and Adderall. And I think it's fucked up. But I think it should be legal. Now, this is a good discussion to have. I don't just want drugs to be legal. I want drugs to be free. Now, you can say, why would you want free drugs? Well, first of all these people who if you go to a doctor and you get a prescription for Ritalin, you get it for free. So, however, my point is, by making it free, you undercut the gangs and you undercut the profit motive, and then you take away the cause of most crime and most murder. The cause of most crime and murder in the USA and world is these illegal drug laws. And by the way, it's not right. Free drugs. Woo! You guys agree? Free drugs. Woo!
Free drugs.
Now,
Hallelujah.
but I am anti-doing this stuff. I have to admit. A few decades ago, I tried what I think was coke, and I almost died. So, I really do. Well, that was the third time, but still, it doesn't matter. My point is, I am very against this stuff. I am very, very against this stuff. I do think it can be deadly. However, to be honest, all illegal drugs worldwide cause 200,000 deaths. You know how many? That's bad. But there's 8 billion people in the world. 200,000 out of 8 billion is almost it's like a rounding error.
That's nothing, dude.
Now, do you know how many? You know what the most deadly and most addictive drug though is in the world?
Alcohol.
Sugar.
Let's do it.
Yes, sugar. Sugar is the cause of 2/3 of all deaths. It's the cause of most cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease. What else? Obesity, diabetes. I can't remember. There's so many things that sugar causes death. Now, so guess how many sugar deaths there are a year? Out of 54 million, there's 36 million sugar deaths a year. And these COVID-19 deaths are mostly probably sugar death related. They're mostly sugar deaths. Because I've read some doctors say if you quit sugar and quit processed food, you will likely survive COVID-19. And if you don't, there's a decent chance you'll die. Now, however, the death rate, yeah, that's bad. The death rate really of this COVID-19, I do want to end the lockdown. However, I'm not trying to kill people like Trump. I've been fighting to have multiples the number of doctors, multiples the number of hospital beds, free health care, and a lot of those trillions of free health care. Woo! And free masks. In general, the point of the whole campaign is to get the government to stop abusing us and to stop attacking us, and to stop sending us to war, and instead respect our human rights. We have human rights that our government has never, ever supported. But they're all in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We have human rights to housing. We have human rights to education. We have human rights to healthcare. We have human rights to what else? Well, a basic income to procreate. How can you procreate if you're a slave in jail? You can't. You can't. You can't. So they're stealing our human rights. And by the way, Joe Biden, you can say, oh, well, Joe Biden is great, right? Well, first of all, if I'm losing with the final few weeks, I'm definitely throwing it to Biden because I don't want to be the cause of Trump winning like Jill Stein was the last time. I would not ever be able to live with myself. However, unless or until that happens, I'm in this race. Now, Joe Biden has spent the last 30, so like, I've been fighting to end these drug laws and to free us from jail for 36 years. Joe Biden has been fighting to lock us up for drug use for 36 years, and we have human rights to be free in this country and in this world unless we're hurting or robbing someone. That's what our nation's founders believed, and that's what, I'm losing the crowd.
Where are you going?
Okay, that's what Joe...
Guys, they're just fucking fake.
Okay, we got 3 more, yay, okay.
Yeah!
I know. Okay, thank you for joining us. Okay, so yeah, Joe Biden for the last 40 years has been fighting to make drugs illegal and to arrest us if we use drugs. And now, 2 weeks ago, he said nobody should go to jail for using drugs. Really? Well, you've been fighting for decades to lock us up for doing that, knowing damn well that his son was a crack addict. He was still advocating locking us all up for using drugs. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting, and he's, evil. Now, is he as evil as Trump? No, he's a fraction, but it's horrible. And now, you know what he said? He said, well, we got to have more mandatory, he said, anybody who uses drugs should have mandatory rehab. Mandatory rehab. That is what we call fancy jail. And he said we need more rehabs. We said we need to build more rehabs, build less jails. How about close the jails and set us all free and stop with this mandatory rehab? I don't see him being forced into mandatory rehab for having a beer, and I shouldn't be forced into mandatory rehab no matter what my choice in drugs is.
Yeah!
Woo! And by the way, they are lying when they say that if you use these drugs, you get addicted. I've tried many of these just out of pure curiosity. You don't get addicted. I don't recommend doing them, but you don't get addicted. You might, there's a tiny, tiny, tiny chance, and there's also a tiny, tiny, tiny chance of death. But the highest chance of death is from eating sugar, and don't forget it. It's the #1 cause of death. Okay, and by the way, I want to bring all the troops home, stop all the wars, and stop this lockdown so that we can give you guys back your future. But we need to protect those at risk, and that means, testing and masks and oxygen and ventilators. But on the other hand, the rest of us, we need to get back to our lives because they're destroying our lives and they're going to make us all poor, and then the rest of us will die of that disease when we're homeless. So enough of this shit. Okay, so I love you all. I guess I could go on for another few hours, but I'm probably boring. But I want to pass this around. Anybody who wants to speak can speak. And by the way, I don't have this disease. I had it many months ago. I'm immune, so it's impossible for you to catch it.
I love you, Fred. I'm gonna bring more people.
Oh, you're gonna get more people? Okay. Cool. So anybody who wants to talk, I would love for you to talk. And by the way, this Trump person, he is a piece of shit Nazi.
Yeah.
He's arresting us for doing nothing. He's attacking innocent protesters. He's turning the U.S. military on the people when they're here to protect us. He said he wants to end this lockdown. He hasn't sued one governor. He says he wants to end the wars. He has wars going on in 150 countries around the world, and he's taken off the protections about killing innocent civilians. So what is he doing? Killing innocent civilians every day. You know what that does? That makes people around the world hate us and want to kill us. You want us to be safe? We bring our troops home. You don't send them around the world killing innocent people.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get us killed here. The way we protect our troops and protect our country and protect the innocents around the world is bring the troops home. Now. No more war. Okay, I love you all. Anybody want to talk? But no pro-Trump people. No pro-Trump people and no Nazis. The no Nazi, no hate speech area. Safe space.
FDT.
Follow me on Instagram, Katie Holland. KCHOLLND. He didn't call anyone a Nazi.
KGH.
He didn't say it to you. I'm not denying it.
Okay, and mine is Fred2020, hashtag Fred2020, and you can look up FredForPresident2020.com if you want to make a donation. Then I can drive around the country campaigning. Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Fred, what do you think about prostitution?
Oh, any victimless crime should be legal. We call it sex work. Prostitution isn't. However, we're also going to have a basic income of $3,000 a month for adults and $1,500 a month if you're under 18. That way, nobody would have to turn to prostitution. Only if you want to. We don't want anybody to have to turn to prostitution. But we'll also have, free or reduced price housing, and we're going to have free or reduced price farmers markets everywhere in the country, because right now this lockdown has already cost 30 million children are starving to death right now in this country, and you can say, oh, the government's taking care of them. They're not. The government has only fed 5 million of the 30 million. The rest are starving right now in this country, and if we don't stop this whole COVID bullshit soon, we're going to have 1 billion people starving. Yes, we need to protect those at risk, but the rest of us have to go on with our lives, or we're all going to be starving soon. Alright, okay, well that woman was okay, but all she wanted to talk about was her Instagram, which I'm sure is great. But, I'm sure it's great. I don't even have an Instagram. Well, I do, but I haven't been on it in a while. Okay, so anybody who's not a Nazi or Trump supporter can speak.
Nazi or Trump supporter. Not and. Yeah, Fred!
Oh, by the way, one more thing. Okay, nobody wants to talk. One more thing I'll tell you. Well, yeah, he's pro-Trump now. Okay, so listen. Freedom of speech is very important. I am the only candidate. No, not hate speech, not Nazis, you fuckhead.
Yeah,
What do you think this is, a Nazi rally? Go take your torches somewhere else. Go take your torches somewhere else, Nazis. Now listen. Yeah, enough. We've had enough of the Nazi rally here. Get out of here. We don't need you here. Thank you. Yeah, go where you're welcome. Back to Nazi Germany before we killed you all.
Bro, my family's Jewish, buddy.
Yeah. Well, then you're a little psychotic. Get a grip. Get a grip.
Fred, don't listen to them, Fred.
Get a
Don't
grip.
listen to them.
Okay, I'm not listening to these guys. Let me tell you one other thing. If you think Joe Biden is so great, when Joe Biden had the chance to annul the last election, all he had to do was, he was the head of the Senate, it was his job to certify or not certify the vote of the Electoral College, and he chose to certify the vote of the Electoral College. That vote stole our votes. Not just 3 million people did Hillary win by. When you compare the number of votes that they got, Hillary versus Trump, to the number of Electoral College votes they got, Trump voters' votes counted 50% more than Hillary Clinton voters. That means Republican votes counted 50% more than Democratic voters. That is not a democracy. That is a totalitarian country where we're being run by the minority. That's a tyranny of the minority, which is the only thing that's worse than a tyranny of the majority, is a tyranny of the minority. And that's what we're living in right now. So we have to, all Biden had to do was say, no, you're not the president, you're a piece of shit, and you're going home. When I'm president, the first place Trump is going is jail. For killing innocents, for locking up innocent children. He has tortured millions of little children, caused the death of so many. Those people are refugees because of our drug laws. They are running for their lives because of our drug laws. The one person in this country and his supporters who is Trump and his henchmen. Just like Hitler and his henchmen. But we're not going to hang you guys because we have a little more sympathy. We're anti-death penalty, unlike that piece of shit. We're not hanging you guys, but there's jail for Trump and his henchmen. Any crimes against humanity, we will punish. We'll punish crimes against humanity. Now, as far as democracy goes, I fought for 3 years to make our country a democracy. I fought it all the way to the Supreme Court, and I lost. So don't believe that the Supreme Court is all left-wing. They don't believe that we have a constitutional right to an equal vote, and I do. And what does that mean? That means day one, we end the Electoral College. We're not going to arrest them because we're very nice, but we are not allowing them to steal our votes. And if they do try to steal our votes, then they go to jail. We've had enough of this. We have human rights to a democracy, human rights to a food and shelter and housing, and human rights to education. And in this modern world, that means free college, public and private. That means free any kind of trade school you want. We have the right to, this is our country, We built it, and we have the right to some of what it creates. When they say that America's the richest country in the world, they don't mean that everyone is. Half of this country doesn't have $500 to their name, and the other, we're going to have a wealth tax, and the billionaires pay 50%. That's how it goes. That's how we support our human rights. And the rest of us will be able to live. Okay, I love you all. Thank you all so much for all your support. Oh, one more thing. We're going to try to lower the voting age to 16 so all of you can vote and all of you can run, and we can have this takeover very quickly. Oh, and there is one other thing. We have this thing called the Love Party. I want you to what? Math?
Masks.
Oh, masks. Masks. I think that my plan is to repurpose a lot of the factories. They call it whatever, the Defense Something Act, where we can force factories to make trillions of them. We will have the government making and giving away free trillions of masks. We're going to have millions of oxygen machines. I think that having a law like our governor just passed the other day saying that if you don't wear a mask, you go to jail, I find really obnoxious. I think that it should be required in supermarkets, but not by the government, just by the supermarket. And as far as bars, I think that it's inconvenient to wear it in a bar, but if you want to wear, I think that it should be up to where people want to do it or not. But I do think that when we're in the more congregated the space, you should probably wear it. And I think it's more out of trying to show respect. However, there are, as more and more of the country and world gets it, in reality, most of us won't have to wear them. Like I had the disease a few months ago. That means I'm immune for between a few months and a few decades. We don't know. So I'm going to start this thing called the Love Party, and then I'm starting a super PAC, and then I'm raising some money. So when all of you want to run under the Love Party, we'll have money for your campaigns so that you can run and not have to do it out of your own pocket, which won't make it happen. This way we're going to make it happen for you guys. Okay, please check out the website, just hashtag Fred2020. You'll find all the videos, and I record new TikToks all the time, and YouTube all the time. And if any of you have any good ideas, please, and if any of you, just tell your friends, tell 10 friends, and send the video to all your friends. And that's all I ask, and just help out however you can. You know how. You can just write Fred2020 on a cap or something, or just write Love Party, and I don't know. Okay, love you all. Thank you so much. Fuck Trump! Woo! Fuck 2020! Fuck Trump!